Okay. All right, so, sorry, let me stand this way. Face me this way. Back there. Okay, so last time, who was there when we did the session? Most of you. But even those that weren't, it's the same principles that you've been learning all year. So the purpose of this meeting that we were having right now is to reinforce some of the ideas that we talked about at that last training session and some of the ideas that you have with your coach now, because it's the same type of principles. So what are some of the things that you're working on? Some of the things that you were doing today? Yeah.
Transition.
Transition, that's huge.
Working on intensity with pace.
Always being intense.
Touches and passes.
Touches and passes.
Body shape and communication.
Body shape and communication, okay. Getting wide. So all those are good answers, but I think one of the key things that we're looking for at this age and in the kind of soccer that you want to play is your shape, right? So even in that scrimmage, I heard your coach saying a couple of times, get wide on the line, making sure that we always have good shape. So as far as your team goals for the year that you're working on, that's one of the biggest things. Your attacking shape, right? Your defensive shape as well, but right now we're talking about your attacking shape. So can we be wide? Can we always look for the wide players? And can we constantly have that in mind as players? Can we get wide? Always thinking, every time we play, even when we don't have the ball, where can I be if I won the ball? And who can I find that's wide so we can play forward? So that's something really big. And then spreading out, like you were saying, with body shape too, using your body to get wide. That's something else that I noticed you guys are doing really well in this little scrimmage I just saw. And in the one that I worked on with some of you. You did a really good job on your body shape, right? When you were the striker and you were out in front of the goal, moving between the two center backs, I think we talked about it, right? What were some of the things that we talked about with your shape? To stay on the blind side of the defender. So if the ball's this way, we don't want to be on this side of the defender. We want to be on the defender's blind side so they can't see us. And then when we're on the blind side, we want to move because we don't want to just stand there. If we stand there, then it doesn't matter that we're on the blind side. So that's really good. And then the other thing that I noticed that your coach does really well is he encourages you to not force passes, right? Sometimes you hear a lot of coaches telling you, play forward, play forward. But sometimes playing forward is not what we want to do. We want to open up the field, and that can mean holding the ball, right? Which is another principle. Sometimes we need to hold it and look and see what's going on, getting our head up. That's also part of body shape. And then your movement off the ball. Who said that? Somebody mentioned it. Well, it was one of you. So the movement off the ball is really important. A lot of good coaches don't even look at where the ball's being played. They look on the opposite side to see who's moving when the ball's not next to them. Taiwa, I was standing right here and I noticed you did a great job of constantly moving, looking at the ball. The ball's all the way down there, but you're already thinking, where can I be in case the ball comes back this way? So that's really important. I think that's something that as a team throughout the year and throughout the season, you guys can really improve on and continue to improve on because you have gotten better. And then the other thing is when we work as a team, is it just something that we do on the field? The idea of teamwork. What are some ways in our life outside of soccer where teamwork's important?
If you get a job, you gotta work with coworkers.
That's a great point. There's not a lot of jobs where you just work by yourself. Like for me, I work at a restaurant. I'm a waiter, I'm a captain, so I have about 30 waiters that I'm responsible for. So more than you see right here, and they're all men that have families and lives, and sometimes it's not easy to work with other people. But I'll tell you right now, I've been there 10 years, the more that I've learned how to work with people, and like he said, how to communicate with each other, the more successful I can be. There's people at my company who have worked there longer than me, but they don't have the same position that I have because I learned very young the importance of working together. So for you guys, lessons learned that are not just about soccer, they're about life. These are the things that your coaches are teaching you, and it's important that you're able to take it like he just did. That was a great example. He took something outside of soccer and compared it to the same things that your coaches want you to work on in soccer. So the more you can see how important those things are, the more successful you'll be in life and in soccer. And that's the goal, right? To be successful across the board. Okay, and then communication, I touched on that a little bit. And then also taking the time to understand that leadership's important. So there's a few people that aren't here, but some of you, who's Kyle? What about John? John. So the last time that we practiced, some of the things that you said and the way that you talked to the team really impressed me. That's why I wrote your name down. I'm not good with faces and remembering sometimes, but I remember being impressed and thinking, wow, this guy has the qualities of a leader. And sometimes being a leader, again, it means more than just being a soccer player. It's in life too. So I want just to point that out. Leadership, especially if you're in a position where you can lead the team, if you're playing center back, striker, wherever you are, captains have different positions, and leadership's something really important. So I wanted to point that out and tell you guys that being a leader is, you know, it can change your life. Because if you're a good leader, what are some of the things you have to do? Be responsible. Be willing to work with other people.
Be respectful.
Respectful.
Be patient.
Patient. Covering each other. Are those easy things? Are those things we're naturally born with? No, those are things we have to work at. And I'll tell you right now that being a leader is hard work. You're usually the first person at practice and the last person to leave. The guy that's helping the coach, the guy that makes his bed in the morning, the guy that helps his mom wash the dishes. Those are all characters of leadership. So I just want to remind you guys that there's more than just soccer in this game. There's life lessons. And I think it's really amazing how well all you guys are doing in a lot of those things. So I'm constantly learning, and that's why I'm doing this video and working with US Soccer, so I can learn to continue to get better and work with other people. Your coaches, Mael, Q, all the people in the Bulls, we're all trying to work together to develop an environment where we can all be more successful. So I just wanted to thank you guys for giving me this chance, and let's go. We'll do a cheer since everybody's here. Yeah. I didn't want to interrupt your practice, but I hope that was a good ending to your practice. And on 3, 1, 2, 3, Wolves! Okay.
Bye.
All right.